Hey y'all, third insight for this week. I love being outside, I've got to tell you, but I absolutely remember now getting rained on, getting cold, sitting uncomfortably, why I now do this at home in my little studio lounge that I've set up. However, I'm away this week and I'm not at home, so that's why I'm out here. I thought I might as well come out and do it out here. So this is the Victoria Esplanade again in Palmerston North. I know I was here last year a lot when my grandma was dying, but it's just so beautiful here, and I actually hadn't visited this rose garden part, so I'm like, yeah, let's bring you down here, let's do this. But yeah, it's good to be with you. I hope you're enjoying this week. Don't be daunted by it. It can seem overwhelming. Section 42 is really long, but is a good read if you can get through there, and just it covers a lot of things that you'll be familiar with, and you can learn a lot from it. But don't be daunted. If it's too much, just do what you can, right? Make the effort. But we're going to go into section 43. Section 43 is again covering who can receive revelation for the church, and how to get revelation, and how do you know it's revelation, that kind of stuff. Because there was a woman that came forward and said she had revelation. She claimed to have revelation for the church. I don't even know if she was a member. Kind of strange that people did that back then, and I guess that people do that now, but now we just write them off as crazies. And they might not necessarily be, but they might just be quite deceived. Crazies really isn't a good word, but that's kind of what society does, right? So back then, who was to say? It was you gotta remember that it was this time of great spiritual visitations and excitements, and there was lots of things going on, so it was quite plausible to a lot of them that this could have happened. Again, remember, these are churches meshing together, becoming members of the newly restored, our church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So they were still finding their way and figuring it all out. So give them a break. Some of them don't know about this, and this is them teaching again quite clearly the structure of revelation, who can get it, how they get it, and who they get it for. We're going to look at verse 11. Because I really like this, because it goes in with, I just read this and I'm like, this goes in exactly with what President Nelson said in his welcome message at this last conference, which I loved, because it just made me really think, what am I hanging on to? So it says here, section 43 verse 11, purge ye out the iniquity which is among you, sanctify yourselves before me. I'm like, wow. So President Nelson, last conference, he told us to remove the debris. That was his thing, remove the debris. One of the meanings of remove that I was looking up, because I was like, I like to deconstruct words and where do they come from, what do they mean. So one of the synonyms for remove was to dethrone, and I was like, wow, that is powerful, because by dethroning the debris, we're taking the power of it away. Whatever is hanging around in our minds or in our lives, in our souls, in our hearts, that we're giving power to, that doesn't need to be there, dethrone it, take it out of your life, and truly cleansing the space that it occupied, because it's still holding space and it's holding power, and you don't need it in your life anymore. So dethrone it. And I'm like, that is powerful. That's more than just like sweeping it up or taking out the trash. Dethroning it, take the power of it away. It's like, oh, I like that. So yeah, this is sanctification. Doing that is actually the sanctification of it. Sorry, got lost in my notes. So cleaning the space, truly cleansing the space, and that is sanctification. The act of making something or someone pure and clean. So by dethroning and really cleaning that space, making it like a white space, that is truly sanctifying. It is making it pure and clean. And we think of white. It doesn't necessarily have to be white. It could look like this. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful space. There's a little leaf debris, but it's kind of good because it's good for the environment. It's supposed to be there. But we're going to get rid of the debris that doesn't need to be here. We're going to take the power of that away and let the place bloom. Let it be beautiful. Keep that in mind. So purge is another great word. That was another one. Purge. It's a really great word too. So let's remove the debris. They were told to then, we're told to again. Let's work on that. Carol McConkie, she was on the Young Women's General Presidency in 2013. She said this really good quote. She said, holiness is a gift of the Spirit. We accept this gift when we choose to do those things that will increase the sanctifying power of the Holy Ghost in our lives. So by clearing up that debris, we're going to increase the power of the Holy Ghost. Isn't that awesome? And that's what President Nelson's trying to tell us, to increase the power of the Holy Ghost. Who doesn't want more of that influencing power in your life? Who doesn't want that to pour over you? Because that's what he was talking about. Who doesn't want that? I want that. I want that more. I love having that in my life, and I miss it when it's not there. It's not a good feeling. So by clearing out that debris, it increases his power. Who knows what we can do, right? Awesome. No, well, that was insight number 3. We're going to skip over to section 44. But yeah, read section 43. The rest of it's really good. The sections that are, sorry, pausing to think what I'm going to say. Verses 15 and 16 I really love too, because it talks about teaching from the scriptures, and we need to do that more too. There's some wonderful teachers I've had out there in Sunday school and Relief Society, and they're good people, but they do not teach enough from the scriptures. They teach principles of the scriptures, but they don't have the scriptures open in front of them. They are not teaching from here. And it can be any of the scriptures. It can be conference talk scriptures, but they're not teaching from there. They're teaching from other really good books, and they are good books. I'm not saying that they're suddenly picking up like we call them Woman's Weekly. I don't know what you get in the States. Whatever trashy magazine they sell at the supermarket checkout counters. Those ones. They're not teaching from them, but teach from the scriptures. It's really important that you can learn stuff there. So yeah, that was my other 2 faves from that section. But I felt better to share that one on purging out and sanctifying, because that's what President Nelson had just talked about. Like, the sun's come out, but there's some really dark clouds over there, so I don't want to get rained on. I'm going to do the last 2 and then go take some photos. So I'll see you in a bit.